Hi there, my name is Robert, and this is That's the Movie. Today I'll be reviewing You're Next. This is a home invasion horror movie, which is directed by Adam Winsgard and is written by Simon Bure. This movie stars Sharni Vinson and Nicholas Tucci, and as well as a few other actors that I'll mention later. The whole plot consists of this family. Their parents are middle-aged already, probably around the 60s, more like that, and they decide to invite their whole family, which it just consists of their 2 sons and their daughter, and they bring their wives and girlfriends and boyfriends, whatever, and they decide to get together and have an anniversary party for their parents. But once everyone arrives, they start being killed by a bunch of axe-wielding, crossbow-shooting, animal mask-wearing murderers. Yeah, it's weird, and it's kind of, I guess, scary. I don't know. But either way, after that happens, one of the guests, an unlikely guest, turns out that she can kill, I said she. Well, anyways, she can kill better than those guys. So, that's the whole movie, pretty much. Now, my opinion on the movie, after I've seen it, I feel like the first probably 30 minutes, I was just watching people die. Like, there was nothing to the movie, no plot, no nothing, just watching people being murdered brutally. And not that like, I don't really care for horror. I'm not a horror fan because usually they suck, horror movies. I mean, as of late, they do. Pretty bad horror movies, so I just don't have any faith in them anymore. That being said, this movie was, I guess, a bit different. It was not the same rehashed like horror movie like all horror stories. This one's actually pretty good. I didn't really get scared because it was mostly just jump scares, and when there's jump scares, it's usually for stupid reasons. Like let's say the main character is gonna open the refrigerator, then they close it, and they look to her left, and boom, there's your friend, and they scream, and everyone screams. I'm like, or when they think there's somebody in the house, and they open a door, and then another character comes up and says their name, but yet they magnify the sound of their name to like really freaking loud noises and sounds like a scream, and all they said was, "Hey." That's what I'm talking about, and that's what this movie had. It was not scary. Nothing else besides that was what would scare people. And I feel like that's the problem that a lot of horror movies have nowadays. That they don't scare you. They don't give you nightmares. They're supposed to really scare you without jump scares, just by looking at a scary face or something. The face is supposed to haunt your dreams. You're supposed to see it every time you close your eyes. That's a good horror movie. Or not even doing like a scary face, just a person, like Psycho. People were scared of him. They were scared. I'd be scared. You know, with that look that he does in the smile, I'd be freaking scared. See, but a lot of movies don't do that anymore. They need to get people scared without the jump scares, and this is what that movie did. But as I was watching this movie, it felt more like a comedy. I'm not kidding. I laughed more in this movie than I laughed in quite a few films lately. And this was a horror movie. I was still laughing a lot. It was a lot more funny. It felt like a horror comedy than actual horror. And I guess for some hardcore horror fans, they'll be like, "This is stupid." That's what they'll think. But I don't know. It was okay. It was all right. It was not terrible. But it was not really good. It wasn't like, game-changing. It was just another like bad attempt at a horror movie. But again, like I'm saying, it probably wasn't a good horror movie, but as I watched it, it was a better comedy and a lot of pretty cool action, I guess. Now the directing. It's directed by Adam Winsgard, and maybe it wasn't really that special. It was just okay. It just felt like I've seen this same director direct. I've seen this directing in another horror movie. That's what it felt like. Except a few times there was this one shot where before the invaders, the creepy masked guys attack, they have the mother. She's walking in the kitchen and getting something out of the refrigerator, and then the camera zooms in as if it's watching from the outside through the window, and then you see the reflection of one of the mask wearing, axe wielding psychopaths' reflection just slowly coming to view through the window. I was like, yeah, that was a pretty creepy, chilling shot. But besides that, there wasn't anything really that caught my eye like that did. Maybe, I guess one, but that's a bit spoilery, so I'll stay away from that. So now let's talk about the acting. This movie stars Sharni Vincent, Nicholas Tucci, and I guess this one is just his name. I really remember because I really liked him. Joe Swanberg. He plays one of the brothers, Drake, and he's not like a big character in the movie. He's more of a supporting actor, and I really wish they had him more in the movie, but he was hilarious. He was really funny. I enjoyed him the most because he was like a total asshole. Just, like an asshole, like, why? You just want to slap him. But he was still very, very funny. I enjoyed his performance. It was probably better than most of the actors in that movie, probably because he made me laugh, and the rest were like kind of taking stuff too seriously. But the writing made it feel like it was more of a comedy than actual horror, because they would say some things, and I would laugh, and so would the whole audience, because it wasn't scary. It wasn't like supposed to give you a chilling effect or anything. It's kind of corny a few times. Probably was on purpose, but I like that part. The writing was actually, the writing wasn't bad. So yeah, I talked about the writing and acting together. Wow, that's amazing. And now let's get on to the soundtrack. How about the soundtrack? About the soundtrack, there's these, I don't know if a lot of movies are doing this lately. I don't know if it's a trend or if it's like maybe coming back, that it sounds a lot like it's from an 80s action movie soundtrack. That's exactly what these soundtracks, that's what this soundtrack sounded like. Felt like I was watching a Michael Biehn movie or Terminator or something. Because if anybody who's played Hotline Miami or Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon, that type of soundtrack, that's what it was, or seen Drive, it was more like that, little beeps and boops and stuff. That's what it reminded me of, because this is not the only movies that I've seen lately have been taking this turn. Like Oblivion, the main score sounded like I was watching Terminator. That's what it sounded like, just straight out of an 80s action movie. It was good. I like it actually, but maybe it's a trend that's coming up, and I hope to see it in more movies because I really did enjoy the soundtrack for this movie. If you're a horror fan who likes being scared, this will probably not be the movie for you. But if you're a horror fan who just likes horror, no matter what, if it's good or bad, go watch it, because this was pretty. It was actually more funny than scary, and the writing was actually pretty good. Has some pretty good twists in there. Usually horror movies, they do that on purpose lately. Anyways, and I liked it. Usually I liked it. I don't like horror movies. Most of the time they're just not very good at all. But I guess I like this one. Probably wouldn't watch it again, but I enjoyed it. I was entertained. It wasn't a terrible movie to sit through. So if you like this one and you're not squeamish or anything, don't go see it. Go see it, because it's good. It was a good horror movie, whatever. You can follow me on Tumblr or Twitter at TheRealRobertAH, and you can check out my column at the Sasha Marina Show. And if you're watching this on YouTube or something, like it, favorite it, share it, comment, subscribe, whatever. Do all that. Don't do anything, leave, don't mind. But it would be really nice if you did. That's the movie.